Jason, you don't have a NAI shirt on.
Hang on 1 second. I'm outside. It's cold.
Oh, he's gonna change.
No, I have it on under my sweatshirt. I have to go to work as soon as this is over. So I'm sitting in the parking lot of the visitor center. So when this is over, I can run. There we go. I got my NAI on.
Good.
Okay, Jason, just because Laura's here doesn't mean you have to,
Yes,
I'm
he
going to
does.
work, boss. I'm going to work.
So I just received a message that Melissa Kinsey hasn't received the link yet.
You could just send yours.
Yeah,
They're the same, so just forward yours if you would.
yeah.
So Robin, are you in Nashville?
No, I'm back home. I'm home. I'm in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Nashville was a lot of fun, but I don't know, I'm just so careful, and I know that it sounds like if you're traveling, then you're a free-for-all, but I'm like a Karen when I'm on the airplane, and this guy wouldn't wear his mask, and I didn't say anything, but everybody else did. And he was actually, the cops met him off the plane and wrote him a ticket.
Yep.
Yay, good.
Air marshals do not mess around.
Yeah, I was glad for that.
Yeah, it's a simple thing that if we all do it, it makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I worry about Thanksgiving. That's my concern. I would love to have my family all get together, but it's just, if we just are a little bit more patient. I know it's hard. I want to run and go, and I miss Studio Movie Grill. That was my wife and I's date night. Going to that movie, but no, thank you. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're even worried about Christmas. We were supposed to have a big multi-family gathering here, and I think Christmas is in the works.
So Marnie, where's your NAI gear?
Sorry, I didn't get the memo about being dressed properly.
It's all right. We're handing out a prize at the end.
Oh,
If you have a hat, go put it on, or get your mug, anything. Everything
Yeah.
works.
I'll have to go. I know where one is, yeah. Okay, I'll go run right now.
Okay.
We've got 29 participants right now.
And like everybody else, I've got people texting me saying, nobody sent me a link. It's like, that's because you didn't request a link.
I just went through the NAI conference website.
Yeah.
I
Right.
tried both and it wouldn't work. So
Oh. Surprisingly, it was a first time go for me. That never happens.
Yeah, I had 23 requests for non-registrants. So I sent them all to Paul. And one even came in on Saturday. And he said this morning that he was able to put her name on the list too. So hopefully they all received it. Those that requested it.
Hi, Kevin. Kevin Damstra. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello. How's it going?
Good. Hi, Jessica. Where's your
Kevin,
gear,
that's
you guys? Ashley, where's your gear?
I have yet to have any regional gear. I need to remedy that.
Aha, we have just the thing. Robin is going to be posting the Sierra Nevada or Sierra Pacific region merchandise on our Whova platform for our workshop.
Mhm.
And then Robin, I think it's also on our national.
It's not there
It's not
yet,
there.
not until we get settled with all the descriptions and everything, but it will, you'll be buying it through the national store. So no hassle with Visa and shipping and all that kind of stuff. So, hi, Mary. Hi, John. Kisses to John. Hi, Troy. I think you have an NAI shirt on. Do you?
No, unfortunately,
Well, I
Didn't.
was thinking that said NAI, so I don't
Yes,
know.
it's
Maybe I
close.
should
All right,
put your.
REI.
Oh, okay.
Partial credit for REI.
Okay.
Yeah, here's mine. I don't know if you can see the NAI Region 9 on it, but right here.
Who's talking?
This is Marnie.
Hi, Marnie.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay,
There it is.
good. Yes, Marnie,
Okay.
you're in.
Oh, good. Phew.
Except I think that, I believe the regional standard is that it's filled with beer, but it's all right.
Too early.
There's a glass.
Oh,
I have one of those.
Yeah, get it.
All right. We are at 34 participants and it's 9:06. How long do you want to wait, Brian?
I would dive right in, Laura. I think it's time.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to share my screen with you all. And you can comment in the chat. I'm going to just assume everybody knows how to use chat at this point in our new reality. Let us know which squirrel meme speaks to you these days. Minimize us here.
Okay. How do I comment?
So if you go to the bottom of your screen and hover near the bottom of your screen, you should see some options pop up, including chat.
Got it.
It's nice to see all the twos popping up in there. We're
Mhm.
feeling determined, motivated.
Laura, if we just click on it, will it record our?
No, it is not that fancy. It's just a Word doc.
Okay.
I think I've been through all 6 of these in the last week. Two and 5. Some fans of interpretive dance out there. Would anyone like to share why they chose one particular meme? Or Brian, you want to share your interpretive dance?
I just wanted to be different if everybody's picking two. And I really kind of like the hair.
Well, you know what that means, Brian, that you have to show us your interpretive dance.
Oh, I got to save something for the virtual workshop. How's that?
Okay. Okay, we'll put you down for that then.
Oh, Simone says number 4, go on without me because this is her first week of retirement.
Yay!
Oh,
Hey.
Congratulations.
yeah. Well, I picked number 1 for some personal things are gone, but number 3 for the hopefulness that I have now since the election, and I'm ready to crank it up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I go with number 5 because it makes me so happy to see you all here. We're so glad you guys joined us this morning on a Monday morning to start the week. We really appreciate it. And even though we can't be together in person, it's kind of nice that so many of us get to be together this way. I doubt so many of us would be able to be in Florida right now.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. Here we all are.
Let's dive into the formal part of the meeting then. I want to first of all thank you all for finding the time to be with us today. I know you're all very busy people and we really appreciate it. You know, you guys that show up for something like this are the heart and soul of the region, and we love you for that. The structure of today's meeting, just so you know what to expect, and I know how easy it is to act like you've got a connection problem and drop out on us if we lose your interest. So this is how we're going to structure things. We've got 2 halves of the meeting, basically. The first half, we're going to run through some quick introductions of your officers. Then we're going to cycle back round through each of the officers, and you'll hear about what we've been doing. We'd like to ask you if you can at all possible restrain yourself to hold back your questions until the second half of the meeting. It'll go much faster that way instead of trying to bounce back and forth every time one of us speaks for 2 minutes, taking a bunch of questions. And we all know how interpreters can be, and I don't want to lose any of you. So if you could just hold your questions, it's not like even though I may, stop talking and Jason moves on to talk about the workshop and Debbie moves on to talk about something else, we can go back to all of those subjects in the second half of the meeting for an open forum. So if you can restrain yourself, I appreciate that. And I know there's 1 or 2 of you that won't be able to do it, and that's okay too. We love you anyway. We're going to start off with our introductions, and then we're going to work back through. So I should probably introduce myself. I am your current and outgoing regional director, Brian Cahill, and I am retired from California State Parks as an interpreter with about 38 years in. And I am pleased to be able to pass the region over to a very capable interpreter. Anne, why don't you introduce yourself starting January 1st?
So good morning, everyone. I'm Ann Kassabaum. I'm the Chief of Interpretive and Recreation Services with East Bay Regional Park District, and excited to work with your board of directors and take us into the next phase.
Laura, you want to pick it up for an introduction?
Sure. I'm Laura Draff. I am your treasurer, serving my 2nd term. I'm also the interpretive services supervisor for the North Central region of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, the greater Sacramento area.
Debbie?
Hi there, everyone. My name is Debbie Espinoza Bylan, and I want to thank all of you for re-electing me as your region secretary. And I was formerly with the California Academy of Sciences, but with all the layoffs, I'm one of those hundreds of people that were laid off. So I think I just want to thank you for re-electing me.
And last but not least, Jason.
You're muted, Jason.
There we are. Is that better?
Yep.
So I'm Jason Ferrera, your deputy director, still in my 1st term. I work at the Nimbus Fish Hatchery with Laura, and I'm just glad to be here with everybody today, seeing some friendly faces.
Very good. Thank you, Jason. Well, I want to dive into what we've done. I'm going to set this little egg timer here as a promise to you, get it in the frame, that I will keep this short because I would like to spend about 2 minutes recapping what we've done in the last 2 years. And I'll make it quick, but I'm kind of actually proud of some of the things we've accomplished. And one of the first ones was looking at our budget. Everybody has to run a balanced budget in NAI. That's the way the things work, but we are in a really unique position. About 2017, We had a very successful workshop in Reno, and I'm wearing my logo gear from the Reno workshop. And we made a little money, and that money has just been sitting there year after year. And we receive special permission from the NAI board every year to spend down a little bit of that savings. So we're able to turn that into a discounted workshop registration and other member services. And that was a big change we instituted a couple years ago, and I'm quite proud of that. Serving our members well. We listened to what our members wanted, and we are doing it. The thing we're just completing a region workshop manual. We had a nice formal manual to give to a workshop team on how to do a workshop, and it had fallen sadly out of date over the decades. It was still locked in the days of fax machines and sending checks in the mail to register for a workshop. So that's been completely updated, and it'll be of a little help maybe for this year's virtual workshop, but a lot more help when we get back into our regular workshop model. Now, I'm sure everyone on my screen knows interpreters who are doing amazing work and getting little recognition. So last year, we launched our Regional Professional Awards. And it's the region program, but it closely parallels the national program. The requirements are a little simpler, but hopefully it'll feed our members into the national awards in the future. We just recognize outstanding achievements and showcase the success of our members. And you're going to hear a little bit more about that later in this meeting. Another thing we did is we streamlined the application process for regional scholarships. You no longer need to submit letters of recommendation or reference or school transcripts, and you can apply in about half the time. We've also opened up the scholarship program to non-members. A student of interpretation can apply for a scholarship and then only join NAI after they've found out that they've been selected for a scholarship. That's really broadened the reach of our scholarship program. We're doing a better job of tracking those scholarship funds. Thanks to Laura, she set up a whole new accounting code to do that. We've got regional merchandise that Robin's going to talk about a little bit later to wave our flag and spread our brand. And we're current on all of our requirements with national. Our operational plan in support of the NAI strategic plan is current. We have our core services report and annual budget to national, always on time. And my timer is running out, so that's a quick recap of some of what we've done over the last couple years. Let me throw the ball to Jason and Debbie.
Well, thanks so much, Brian. Thanks so much. I'll try to keep it brief as well. So I'm excited to let everybody know about our virtual regional conference. That's going to be March 5th and 6th with a little extension thereafter. We are planning some virtual field trips. Normally we do a taste of our region. We bring a little something with us. But now this year we want to do a travel in our region. So we're asking folks to prepare about a 10 to 15 minute video or interpretation of their site. And if you're interested in doing that, we'll be collecting those videos, getting them up on our Facebook page, which we're going to be creating, not our Facebook page, but our YouTube page. There's just too many things. So that'll be on our YouTube page, and then we'll get them on our Whova site, and we'll be giving you more and more information about that. Again, it's March 5th and 6th. We will be using the platform of Whova, which does tie in a little bit with Zoom. We really wanted to make this conference different. A lot of things are trying to do in-person conferences online, and we're really trying to structure this so it's a little bit more different, a little bit more interactive. And Debbie will talk about some of the highlights of Whova and what that's going to allow us to do. So I'm going to turn it over to Debbie, and I'll be happy to answer questions after.
All right. Well, thank you, Jason, for all that. Yeah, so our theme is resilient interpretation, adapting to our new world. So we wanted our focus to be not only with the presentations that we're asking for submittal soon, but also the workshop itself. So we decided to go with a platform called Whova, and it really will help us to facilitate all of our digital interactions. So presenters will be able to, with a moderator, lead their talk from there, either a live talk or pre-recorded talk. And then there will also be questions and answer sessions right after that. For the presenters also, they can rehearse for 3 consecutive days before their talk so they can get feedback from others. For attendees, there are a lot of interactive items that you can go through and look at on the Whovis site. Community board, you can have virtual meetups, coffee breaks, happy hours. You can post job openings, or you can look for a job, share articles. And then, as I mentioned before, Robin will be posting our Sierra Pacific region merchandise on there also. And the structure of our workshop will be, as Jason mentioned, a lot different. I presented a few different models, and we're reworking those and fine-tuning them so that we don't have long days of sessions. They'll be broken up, and any session that you missed, you can look at again and then post questions if you have any for the speaker. So it should be a very fun and rewarding experience, and I think we'll get a lot out of it, and it'll be a lot different than what we're used to.
You know, if I could just jump back in, going with our theme of adapting to our new world, you know, we've all had to, I'm going to have to jump off the phone here and go do a virtual tour in just a few minutes. But if you think you have, for our members, a way that you have adapted that you would want to share with the membership and people from other regions, sign up to be a presenter. Sign up to be a presenter. We have as little as 30-minute slots. And if you have a lot to say, because we're interpreters and we all have a lot to say, you know, we do have some longer slots and some longer time frames. So really think about what you're doing at your site or with your agency, within your agency, to adapt and share that with us, because I know I'll personally steal from you. I'll take those ideas. So let's get together and we'll talk about presentations and how you can help us learn to adapt to our new world. That's it. I promise. That was it.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Debbie, did you want to introduce a few fine folks?
Yeah, so Brian mentioned how we've really stepped up our game for awarding scholarships. So I have the names of the 2020 scholarship winners. We had 6 of them for our regional workshop. Jenny Comperta, Tara Law, Charlotte Maupin, Diane White, Dana Shrew, and Catherine Orland. Each of those received $150 for a total of $900 for our Marin Headlands Nature Bridge regional workshop in March of 2020. For this virtual conference for nationals, we awarded 13 supplemental scholarships of $15 each, because they did have funds from other places. So $15 each times 13, that's $195 total. And 13 of them, Lauren Blotton, McKenna Dorney, Sarah Fayers, Myra Guzman, Naima Khan, Samantha Mariscal, Charlotte Maupin, Amanda McDonald, Emily Orzo, Isabel Ortillo, Andy Padilla, Natalie Wren, Amelia Taus. And then we also gave some very rewarding and deserving membership scholarships this year. 2 of those for $200 each, Nicole Gange and Aaron Dunning. So we want to thank all of you for putting your names in and allowing us to help you further your career and also your membership and your interest in our region. And the total this year that we awarded was $1,495. And that again comes from all of our funds from the past, from our workshops, the scholarship auctions.
Yeah,
All
I'd just like to emphasize that point, that it is your participation in our scholarship auctions at our past workshops that has allowed us to support participation in future workshops and conferences for HSU students, as Debbie listed, and for our members. So we really appreciate everybody's participation in those auctions and other fundraising activities that we've engaged in.
Take it away, Laura. Tell us a little bit about the budget.
Okay, all right. So Brian mentioned that we are in great shape financially. We generally have planned our workshops to be sort of break even, but in the past few years, we've been able to sort of subsidize them with that reserve of money. We plan to continue doing that for the next several years as well. We still have about $19,000 in that reserve. So we're in good shape. As Debbie mentioned, we've given out about $700 in scholarships for the national conference. That leaves plenty to help us make the spring workshop accessible to everybody who wants to attend. So please look for that in the coming months. We're still working out, of course, what the registration costs will even be, but we will have funds to support participation by anyone who would like to join us. We also, I want to just remind everybody that we are giving out certification grants with some of our funds as well. So if you are interested in pursuing your CIG, CIT, other professional development, that's a possibility. And we have some grants available for up to $250 each. And those are sort of on a first come, first serve basis. So if you're interested in that, Julie put the link to our scholarship programs in the chat, and just check out our website and shoot me an email if you have any questions. That's it for me.
Great. Thank you, Laura. Next, I'd like to introduce a very special person, our regional chair for professional awards, Ms. Karen Barrett. Take it away, Karen.
Good morning, everyone. If you know me, getting up early and being at work at 8 a.m. is not my cup of coffee, but I am so happy to be here. And as I was driving in today, I was thinking about the awards, and I think that it is only fitting that I talk about our regional awards during the time of season, this time of year, where we think toward Thanksgiving and feel gratefulness. And that's really what the awards program is about. It is recognizing our colleagues and being very grateful for their service to our profession and also to NAI. And with that, I'd like to start off by saying that our region, the Sierra Pacific region, has a long history of people who have contributed mightily to the development of NAI through the years. And if you have seen the list of national award winners this year, I am thrilled to see among them Laura Draff, our very own Sierra Pacific member, a new member to our region, Erin Gates, who I just noticed is running the Region 8 or the Wild West region meeting right now. She's recently relocated to Northern California. She is also being recognized for meritorious service, along with Mary Lone. I saw Mary on the Zoom this morning. Yay, Mary! And Jim Covell being recognized for awards of distinction. Last year, as Brian spoke to, I really commend the board for relaunching an awards program in the Sierra Pacific region. Like he said, it's been simplified. We have we have lucky seven number of categories, which I'll list in a second. But I do want to say that in growing the program, that we had our first, in this new era, recognition of award winners, and that's Carolyn Shamandel as Master Frontline Interpreter. She was recognized along with Renee Fitzsimons, who's on the call today. There she's waving, yay. So it's just wonderful to see people come forward and recognize great service. Renee, meritorious service she was recognized for, and she continues that tradition because she has agreed to be my co-chair in the awards. So Renee is one of those people, when you ask her to help you out, she always says yes, and she's always said yes to our region. So let me quickly go over and tell you that this information you're going to get will be coming out in the newsletter. They'll come out in early December, be posted on our website and on Facebook. A couple just quick things. If you have a question about that, we do have a Gmail account, awards.nai@gmail.com. So remember the dot. I work for California State Parks. We use dots in our name. So awards.nai nai@gmail.com if you have questions about this. So let me tell you the categories. In a moment, I just want to say that reflect on the thankfulness and gratitude we have for people who, like you, are showing up for the meeting this morning and who contribute to the strength of NAI. For me, it's been a very important anchor in this crazy year, so I'm so thankful for it. So as I list these people or list these titles, think if you know, and I'm sure you do, people who might qualify for this easy and simplified award process. So here's a list: outstanding new interpreter, master frontline interpreter, outstanding senior retired interpreter, outstanding interpretive volunteer, master interpretive manager, excellence in interpretive support, and meritorious service. More information to come on these. I just encourage you to honor your colleagues and the people who support us in interpretation by nominating someone. So thanks, Brian. Thanks, Laura. And that's the report.
Seems like we lost Brian. Where? Oh, there you are.
I got thrown out for some reason. I don't know, misbehaving. We'd be remiss if we didn't offer a few quick thank yous, and probably the most important is to acknowledge the agencies that support all of our officers and committee chairs, because the support of those agencies is so important. So let me quickly tip my hat to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, California State Parks, East Bay Regional Park District, Mid-Peninsula Open Space District, Nevada Department of Wildlife, and Santa Clara County Parks. We truly couldn't have this organization without the support of all these agencies. And I'd certainly like to thank the folks in these agencies and other agencies that make these things happen, like our newsletter editor for many, many years now, Ryan Bangs. Is Ryan on this morning? Thank you so much, Ryan. We appreciate that newsletter. There'll be another one coming out in early December. The 2020 workshop team. We had quite a workshop, probably the last in-person workshop that anybody in NAI got to pull off. Are there any of the workshop team on this morning? Could you wave at us? Thank you very much to our 2020 workshop team. Our webmaster that keeps the website updated for us, always with a smile, no matter how many times we change it, Julie Watson. Thank you so much for that, Julie. Carolyn Chimandel, our membership chair, and last but certainly not least, probably most important, wearing several hats, is Robin Joy. Most recently, she's to be commended for heading up our elections and also for handling the merchandise for the region. So thank you very much, Robin, and thanks to everybody that supports NAI. And speaking of Robin, are you ready to take it away for us, Robin?
Actually, before Robin does that, there's one more person we want to thank. And that's you, Brian. We're not going to let you slip out the door without saying thank you for your service as our director these past few years. You came in when things were shaky and we needed some direction, and you provided it. And you really helped us get back on solid footing and moving in the right direction. All of your work is so appreciated. We hope that you're going to stay actively involved, but thank you so much for all that you've done. And Joni should be slipping in there any minute now. She's missing her cue, but we have a little chocolate and wine, two parting gifts, your favorite gifts for volunteers that we wanted to share with you. So thank you for all you've done, Brian. We really appreciate it.
You're too kind. I sent her the link and said, go to your own room and get on this call. But that's just as well, because it looks like Robin is back with us, just about ready to, you're going to have some fun and give some stuff away, Robin?
Yeah, but first, so this is a drawing, and I wanted to make sure that I have everybody listed who has NAI gear, either drinking from or wearing. And I only have 3 listed, but I wanted to ask, am I including the board members? Jason, you, and Laura in the drawing?
I don't think so.
You're in charge, Robin.
Yes,
I'd rather
I'm
give
gonna
a prize to
include you
somebody else,
guys.
but it's all on you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need like, I don't have a full screen where I can see everybody's hand, but I have Karen, B, Frank, Marnie, and Jason, Brian, and Laura. And who else has gear on? Can you speak?
I see
do.
Kelly English wearing gear.
Okay, hang on.
I
And
have
Mary
gear
Lone,
on.
did you get her?
No. So this is good.
Robin, I'm wearing gear also.
Okay, great.
Yay. And I
This is
won't show
Ashley
you
Grenier.
my pajama bottoms though.
Who's
This is
wearing the
Ashley.
I don't have them on at this moment, but I promise you, I wore them last night.
Okay, great. I've got mine on. They're pretty comfy and it was cold last night, so that's
They
good.
are incredibly comfy. I love them.
Okay, Renee, I see you.
Okay,
And Debbie, I got you. Nicole, I got you. If you're hearing me, of course.
got Ashley.
Ashley?
Yeah, hi, Ashley Grenier. I've got my pint glass
Oh,
with water in
good.
it.
Okay.
Hey,
That's
Robin, this is
awesome.
Francis. I got mine for the wrong region, but it's NAI.
I love it. Okay.
And Robin,
Robin.
I've got mine. This is Ingrid.
Ingrid, wonderful. Okay,
Robin,
hang
John,
on.
I've got my glass.
Okay.
Robin, this is Jen Tarleton. I got my glass as well.
Looks like the glasses are popular. Those beer tastings are hits. Okay, who else? Oh, good. Cheers.
Does anyone happen to have their pins
Robin,
on
do I
from
get-
the last workshop? Does anyone have pins?
So I see Robin Melissa Kinsey has her pint glass.
Okay,
And
Melissa.
Did you get John Hooper?
I got
Susan?
John.
Susan
Yep.
has hers.
Susan.
Ramos.
Okay.
What have you got, Brianna? Oh, her flashlight. Awesome.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah.
Christine,
Hey.
Christine and Jim, we're wearing our logo shirts.
There you are, girl. Okay.
And I especially like the old logo on Jim.
He's
That's
got the
awesome.
old logo shirt on.
Okay, hold tight because I had to make some more squares. You guys are good.
You got him. Bring.
This is high tech here. So someone tell a joke, do something else.
Very good. They have shirts on.
How about interpretive dance? Someone. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah,
That's-
there we go.
That's Jen Tarleton. Do it.
So Kevin, I am very intrigued at your background. It looks like you're in a stone building making rocket ships or something. You don't want to tell us anything more about that, do you?
It looks like he walked
Kevin
out
has
of
left the room for the
picture.
moment. He's in the kitchen with me, but it's Star Wars.
I love it.
Okay, I'm ready. And I guess I've got a bowl with everybody's name in it and total, here we are, legit voting right here at the poll. So I'm gonna draw a name out of this bowl as I leisurely sit here. And let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's Renee.
Yay! Yay!
Okay, and Renee, so you can contact me personally because you can pick and choose if you want a hat and water bottle combo, if you want a shirt or a hoodie. But for everybody who participated, I'm sending you a patch. And just putting it on an envelope, in an envelope, no love note. Just know that it's there. The love is there. And I'm going to pay for the postage myself. So everybody will get a patch. But you have to sew it on.
I'll buy you a virtual beer.
I love that.
All right, thank you, Robin.
Thank you,
Okay.
Robin.
Thank you, Robin. Wow.
Yes, thank you. So I do want to say a couple more things, maybe one or two, but I want to thank everyone. Well, I want to thank Annie, Simone, people who ran for the elections, because without the people who are running for these positions, we would not be, running towards success. And so it takes a lot of courage and a lot of effort to say, yes, I'll run, I'll put the time in. And I just want, if you haven't, and you're interested in the next election, to let me know kind of ahead of time, contact me and say, look, I'm interested in running for a position, because our board of directors are really important to us and they keep it going. So I want to thank everyone who has either thrown their hat in or is right now standing in the board, on the board, in the board. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Laura, did you want to take the ball?
Remind me where we're at.
The word cloud.
Oh, shoot. You know what?
Are we moving on to the open forum?
Yeah, let's do that, because I was not prepared for that. I'll see if I can pull that together, but go ahead.
Well,
and start talking.
I'd like to thank you all for holding your questions, and I'm sure somebody has a question about the workshop that they want to ask Jason and Debbie. Somebody has a question about awards that they want to ask Karen. Somebody has a question about counting beans that they want to ask Laura. So this is your chance. We've still got another 20 minutes of meeting time, but let's hear what is on your minds. Who wants to be first?
Crickets.
Simone.
So I just want to let everyone know that I'm the volunteer chair for NAI's national workshop for 2021 in Palm Springs, keeping our fingers crossed that we can go there live. But since it is in California, I'm going to be looking to this region for lots of volunteers. So be thinking about whether or not there's something you can do to help out with 2021. It's probably going to be a combined conference, because we recognize that a lot of people do not have money in the budget for 2021 to travel. So it'll probably be a combination of virtual and hopefully some on site. But I'm looking forward to going to Palm Springs. I've never gotten to visit the Living Desert Museum and Zoo and gardens or whatever. I can't remember all the title it is. But there's a lot of stuff down there. I want to go to Joshua Tree, lots of places that I haven't had the chance to go to before. So if you can make the trip, I think there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff to see down there. And it'd be great to have people help out. All right, Ashley already said she'd help me out, so that's great. Thank you. I'm going to start a list.
Thank you, Simone. Who else? Question, comment, critique?
This is Renee. I have a comment, question, suggestion on some things that have come up. And I know if I do this, I'm putting myself in the position to try to be the, you make a suggestion, you got to do it kind of thing. However, would definitely need help. Several things have come up recently that I've needed to reach out to peers for support. And I think it would be, and appreciate everyone's willingness to try to jump in and help me out on a couple things that I think that there might be a way within our network to have that kind of maybe capacity more formally. Karen, Ann, Brian, you know that our agency was doing an RFP for a new interpretive consultant at a scale that we had never done before. And I was really struggling within my agency to, at a baseline, still explain interpretation in some ways, and in other ways just to have folks recognize this is not an engineering and construction project. This is not public art. This is something very much in between. And I was looking for support with a peer reviewer of the proposals, and then maybe to sit on our committee. I don't know that we formally ever kind of tried to have that capacity within the organization, at least within the region, but it's something that really made me think about, is there a way to try to create that? Recognizing people may not have time, but knowing you have a few shoulders to tap should you be in that place to need some professional peer support. And the other two things we spent a lot of money with NAI this year, our agency, to get over, and this may not be unusual for other agencies, it was for us, to get all of our rangers trained as CIGs. And one of my new staff who I recently was able to hire. And we're really hoping that the virtual conference platform would be a way to get them engaged, to try to help them recognize there was a lot more to this thing that they just, spent weeks doing. Unfortunately, the capacity was reached at the national conference, and we weren't able to get any of our rangers registered. Trying to think of a way maybe for the regional workshop to have some engagement for them and someone who's really stepped into getting new people involved. And that could also be some of our volunteers, our docents that I know they're always welcome, but something more formal to get them connected to. I don't know that, for the regional workshop coming up this spring, that there's time to do that, but maybe going forward that there's some other structure within our regional organization. Okay, thank you. Welcome thoughts or offline discussions would be great.
Great, appreciate that, Renee. Who else has a thought or a question? Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, Brian, before we move on to the next question, I have got to run. I've got a virtual tour to jump on. So I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who came this morning. And any questions or comments I'll be following up with is hopefully before the end of the day, I'll check in the chat box and see if anybody had anything specific. And I'll get back to you right away. But I'd have to go do the magic.
Thanks, Jason. Stay well.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, and as we continue our conversation, if you wouldn't mind going into the chat and just typing a word that describes what's special about our region, what you love about our region. That's the word cloud activity we were talking about a second ago. So if you could just shoot a word into that chat for me, I will create our cloud. Thank you.
And I have a comment to make also, just regarding updating your membership information through NAI, through your account, because if we send a mass email out or a newsletter and you don't get it, it's generally because your email is not updated or it's going to spam. So it's always good to make sure that you add NAI and the National and Sierra Pacific to your approved list, because what we found out during the election is that several people did not get the ballot sent from NAI. And so it's really important that you update that and your address, especially because I'm going to send those patches out. So that's all.
You know what, if I could add to what Robin just said, that's really important about keeping your emails updated, because if you do register for the regional workshop in March, that your access to the workshop itself through Whova needs a current email address. So make sure you do update this. It is very important. Thanks.
Jen.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Jen Tarleton, the instructor at HSU for the INTERP program. And I just wanted to thank this group for the scholarships for 13 of my students who will be joining us for their first national conference. And I'm just so excited that they are able to be a part of the NAI community. They're also each receiving a membership to NAI. So that's 13 new members for our group, which I think is fabulous. So just want to, as always, thank you for your support of the students. It's much appreciated. I know that they feel the love. Thank you.
Hey, anybody else?
Hey, I just wanted to recognize Kelly English for being newly elected board member for NAI.
Yes, yay! Woo!
And also do a shameless plug for our NAI DEI committee. We recently started a new section called Jedi, and it's not for Star Wars fans. It's including, along with diversity, equity, and inclusion, accessibility, and justice as well. I also wanted to recognize Dan Albro, who's on this call, who's a program chair for the conference. And I had the chance of being part of the committee, looking through all of the different programs this year to ensure that we have a diversity lens and perspective on it. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Francis. I appreciate
Thank you,
that very
Dan.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really important work. Thanks so much.
For the shout out, Francis, and a big thank you to all of you who helped get me elected to the board. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to starting my term.
It's also section day today. So later on this afternoon, with all the other sections that have been around for a long time, the newly formed Jedi section will be meeting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I hope to see many of you there.
Hey, Francis and everyone else, one of the things that we are talking about for this workshop is that our interpretive programs not only have to reach out to the general public, the general majority of people, but they also have to reach out to groups that don't have access to a lot of things. And that includes cultural groups too, ethnic groups, anyone that has kind of been left behind. So our reach out will be to people like you and organizations that you know that can help us bring those techniques that they've used into our workshop and let other people know about them. So we're hoping for 2 keynote speakers that can help us with our diversity statement and to reach out to other people. So we'll be in contact with you, Francis.
Before we close, if you were there, Brian, I want to give a gift to one more person. I don't think it was enough just to draw one name. So, this is an executive decision. Sorry. I'm going to go with one more name. Here's the bowl. And I'm going to select, not looking. I'm picking. One was a board member, and I'm just not going to do that. Kelly English.
Oh, wow.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey,
Okay.
do I count? I'm an incoming national board member, so maybe I shouldn't count.
You count.
Oh, you count, definitely.
We want you to wear the Sierra Pacific
Tom's laughing
when you're there.
Yeah, you represent our region.
Well, thanks, Robin.
Good job, Kelly.
All right, y'all, I'm going to share my screen for just a moment, show you our word cloud. I'm not sure I captured every word, but just really quick. There's some of what y'all came up with. Dedicated, friends, diversity were our top 3. Good stuff, people.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe we could have that as our background on the Facebook for a little bit.
Sure.
Sure, put it up.
Wait, I want.
Frank, I saw something in the chat that you wanted to share. Did you want to get that in real quick before we wrap?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the Mellon Foundation, if you hadn't noticed this, has about a $250 million grant commitment for what they call the Monuments Project to reimagine and rebuild commemorative spaces and transform the way history is told in the United States. Seems to me that not only can WIA, that's it used to be.
That dates you.
That NAI and perhaps just members here might be able to reach out to Mellon and let them know that the interpreters can assist in getting a story together that may further the conversation in a very positive way, especially on these monuments that are going down or being moved or whatever. There is a way that's more than just an artistic way of telling the story, as you know, that we may be able to help. So just to let you know, there's $250 million in that grant program. They actually advertises as $250 million, sounds bigger. But there it is. That's all I wanted to mention.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Frank.
Awesome.
Last call. Anybody else before we wrap this up? Well, thank you all for your time. Thank you especially for your support of NAI, and we will see you all on the small screen March 5th and 6th for our regional workshop.
Wait a minute. I have one more thing.
Good to see everybody.
Well, yeah, an hour ago.
Waiting this whole damn time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome, Laura.
All
It was
right.
great meeting. Nice to reconnect with Region 9. I haven't been involved in a while, so
Great. Yeah. Well, thanks again.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. All
you're welcome. Nice to see you. Have a great
right.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.